Hi scholars, today we're going to be experimenting with a strategy that's called the number bond way. Okay, so this strategy has to do with taking these numbers that are really big and challenging and breaking them down into their hundreds, tens, and ones so that you can make simpler, smaller equations that you can solve a little bit faster to get your answer. So we'll demonstrate first with this equation, 125 minus 90. So the first thing that I would do is think about how I have to take away this many tens, right? So then I think to myself, how can I most easily take this number out of the whole? Okay, I know that 90 cannot be taken out of 20. I know that 90 cannot be taken out of 5, but I do know that 90 can be taken away from 100. So I'm going to grab my drawing tools and I'm going to split apart the number 125 into what it's worth. And I know it's worth 100, and the other part of it would be 25. But if I can pull that 100 out, then I can take away 90 and then add back what is left from that first number. So I'm going to write my new equation. Ooh, gotta get the typing tool. And my new equation, oh, I don't like when it does. The new equation is going to be, well, let's see. I'm going to use the 100. So I'm going to say 100 minus 90. So what I just showed you is I used this number. So I'm going to cross it out because I used it right here. Okay, and then I used the number 90. So I'm not going to think about that anymore except for solving this simple equation that I just created with friendly numbers. Both of these numbers end in 0. They're a little easier to work with. I know 100 minus 90 is the same as thinking, how many does it take to get from 90 to 100? What's that other part of 100? So 90, if I count on 10 more, I get to 100. So that means 100 minus 90 is 10. So I just write 10. Awesome. So the numbers that I'm left with now are 25 and 10. So now I get to make my final equation at the bottom. That final equation is super easy because I split the numbers up in a way that made sense to me using number bond strategy right up here. So I have 10 left, but I also still have 25 from my first number. Then 25 and 10 more is 35. So my answer at the top, use a fun color, must be 35. And if I wanted to check, I would take my part that I got that was left and add it to the part that was over here. Okay, so that's exactly how you would use the number bond way to subtract a little bit easier. Now I'm going to show you how to use the number bond way to add. So I'm going to move over to this equation. So I love the number bond way for addition because it's a very easy way to break the numbers apart to be able to put them back together in a way that makes sense inside your head. So this is really helping us with mental math. So we're going to break this number apart into its hundreds and tens and ones and what they're worth. So I know this is 100. So first I'm going to write 100. And then I know this 1 in the middle is worth 110. So I'm going to write a 10. And then I know this 3 at the end is only worth 3 ones. So I'm going to write a 3. Then I also break this number down. I know that it's worth 70 because that's what this digit is worth in the tens place. And I know that this digit is worth 7 because it's ones. Okay, now I'm going to put them all back together in a way that makes the most sense to make a really simple number sentence. So I know that, first of all, this number didn't have any hundreds. So I'm just going to stick with 100. So I'm going to put an arrow bringing down my 100. Ooh, there we go. Then I'm going to put my 10s together with each other. 70 and 10. So that's going to be 100 plus, well, 70 and 10 more is 80. So I'm going to put 80. Then I put my 1s together. So 3 and 7 makes 10. And then I find out what that total is by putting these ones together. Okay, so that's 180. And it's easier for me to do this part in my head first. 80 plus 100. 80 plus 80 plus 10. So 80 plus 10 more is 90. Okay, so if I know that these two make 90, I'm drawing another number bond here, then 100 and 90 together make 190. So I took every single part of these numbers, broke them down a little bit to put them back together in a way that has friendly numbers for me to use in this equation. So I got 190 as my total. All right, that's how you would use the number bond way to add. And then the previous example is how you would use it to subtract. Now it's your turn to try. Remember, the next 3 equations are a little bit easier, and then the last 2 are a bit of a challenge. So choose what you think is best for yourself. Okay, do your best.